Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are back with some more UCC content. It is week numero 7, and if you missed out on any of the previous weeks, I highly recommend you go back and check those out on the channel, because it's been one hell of a season with Mono Gen 8. But now, as I did mention at the end of last week's video, that today we've made some trades active for this week to try and potentially salvage something from this season. Who knows, but it's something that needs to be done, and I need to plug in my laptop because it's about to die. But whilst I'm doing that, I've made 3 trades to the team on Mons, which I thought I rarely used at all in the season so far, and I didn't really thought of like, oh okay, this is getting like predictable and all that kind of stuff. So the free agent trades that I did make were, I traded out Daddy Snom the Frostmoth because the times I have brought it, it's not really done anything. It's pretty much tried to set up and die every time. I'll probably end up trying to use Daddy Snom again, but it's just not my kind of like mon, if you get what I mean, because the likes of like in DD, Dracovish, or Pico, all those mons which don't require that much setup and just hit things like a truck, like off the bat, they're the ones I kind of tend to use. I don't really tend to go for like setup options like Dragon Dancers, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that will be good enough. So I've dropped Frostmoth for Dusklops. Now you'll get why I picked up Dusklops in a moment from who else I've dropped, but Dusklops is bulky ghost type with Eviolite. It can Will-O-Wisp, it can just eat up hits for days, so get some more bulk on the team, because of right now we don't have that much bulk on our team. So hopefully Frostmoth can do the most, not Frostmoth, Dusklops can do the most with that. We've also dropped Sirfetch'd because I don't think we've ever brought it. That could be a lie. I think I brought it like one game or none. So I wanted to try it out because I love Farfetch'd, one of my favourite mons. I don't know why. It's just like I just like Farfetch'd, okay? But Sirfetch'd, I thought I'd use it more. I didn't because it's slow. It's got good attack, but it doesn't really have the opportunity to come to a game and put in work. So I dropped it for Graplocked, the Clobopus, punching octopus. Now, I was complaining about Sirfetch'd speed there, but Graplocked, I can't even say his name properly. Graplocked, I think it's Graplocked, because Octa for octopus, Grapple-Oct. I know it's slower, but it's got more bulk behind it, so it can live a hit better than Sirfetch'd. It can, like, do more damage. I think it gets better coverage than Sirfetch'd, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I think I used it in the LTC like testing season, which I was part of. I'm pretty sure I used it then. It did okay for me then, so I thought I'd give it a shot in like a proper league, see how it goes. I know it's going to be like what, 3 games, 4 games or whatever, but it's still going to be a proper league, still going to be competitive games. So hopefully I can work out if Grapple-Oct will be a staple that will come back to the Devious Kongs or any other synonym I go under in future league games. Now, the main trade I did make was Corsola Galarian form for Mew. Now, shout out to Jack, who commented on the last video that Galarian Corsola was getting stale for me because I bought the same sets every week and it gets highly predictable. So he suggested that I dropped Corsola for something else. And literally, I think like the week before, I dropped it for Mew, because Mew is the complete opposite of Galarian Corsola, because it can be run any which way possible. It can be run as a physical attacking sweeper. It can be run as setup. It can run as special attacker. It can run as bulky. It can be run as a hazard setter, hazard remover, a cleric. It can be run any way on the planet because it learns pretty much most moves in the game. It's got base 100s across the board. It's a good psychic type. It's quite, you can run it bulky and all that kind of stuff. I've not used Mew for a while. I did way back when I started draft, I used to use Mew like most of the time because I like to have Mons which have multiple purposes, which is why I like Mega Lucario so much, because you can run special or physical depending on the matchup, or you can run a Mon bulky or attacking. You don't have to go, oh, I'm bringing Diamantan, it has to be bulky. I mean, it has to be a flat out wall breaker, but you can't really run it any other way. So hopefully Mew can add that to our team. Now, after all these trades are made, and I've been rambling on for about 5 minutes now, we are here for week number 7, and we're up against, I do believe this coach is undefeated so far this season, in Mr. Arctic Foss, Dean, the coach of the Leicester Delphoxes. Now, as you can see above me, his team is quite scary. It was drafted by the man, the myth, the legend, the OG on the channel, Mr. Valter, and in my opinion, he's done a good job, because the team is just putting in the most finest of work. This is like probably the best I've seen Dean in a league, like going unbeaten, just running away with it. I'm not saying he's running away with it, but I don't think he's lost a game so far. He's more likely going to be score playoffs. He's probably going to do well in playoffs, hopefully, depending on like who he plays and all that kind of stuff. So, really looking forward to that in the playoff section. I might even do a video on the playoffs of UCC if you guys want to see that. Make sure you smash the like button. If this video gets 5 likes, I'll do playoffs for UCC. Because I'm always guaranteed not to be in playoffs. So, if this video gets like 5 likes, I'll keep on doing the UCC through the playoffs, obviously the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the final. I'll do videos on all 3 of those. If this video gets 5 likes, I'm a like whore. What can I say? But anyway, I'm going off track. I've got a schedule to stick to today. Anyway, so Dean's team is Arctivish, Muck, Gotharita, Heatran, Alchemy, his Gmaxmon, Gallade, Healis, Garchomp, Staraptor, Darkrai, Jellicent, and Delmise. Now, Gallade has been obviously his standout Mon this season, because I think it's his best Mon. I'm pretty sure it was the top MVP of the season for a while. It kind of dropped off recently towards the latter stages of the league, because he's not really brought it that much. Because obviously he's used both his Dynamax on Gallade so far, which is very good for us, because he can't really set up and just go spam the fighting type move, get to +2, and then just outspeed my entire team and sweep me. So hopefully we can solve that with our our Hatterene, who is rocking max HP, max special attack, quiet nature, rocking leftovers with magic bounce, obviously rocking Dazzling Gleam, Trick Room, Future Sight, and Giga Drain. This is to pretty much to make sure we min speed his entire team, because Dean's got quite the fast team, barring obviously because Staraptor, Garchomp, Darkrai, Healis, Gallade are all quite fast. I do believe Heatran's like base 70, so which pretty much outspeeds our entire team, because our fastest one now is Mew with a base 100. So if we can get a Trick Room off, Dazzling Gleam will do damage obviously against the Darkrai and the Garchomp and the Gallade. We've got Future Sight for likes of the Muck, the Gallade as well. We've got Giga Drain for the Jellicent, because probably more likely going to be a switch into this thing. If not, it's going to be Delmise, which won't appreciate a Future Sight because it's not as bulky. I think it's more defensively bulky than especially bulky. But with 136 special attack and a Future Sight, which I think is like base 120, isn't it? Yeah, 120. That's going to do a lot of damage. Now, recently I've been using Future Sight a lot more, and I don't know why. I'm just thinking, oh, okay, at the moment I'm enjoying using Future Sight. I don't have an understanding why behind this. Just so I can like get a Future Sight off, because looking at this mon, they're probably going to switch out thinking, oh, he's going to click Psychic Bard. Oh, I'm going to go into this mon. So then, at that stage, he'll go into Darkrai, I'll click Future Sight, I'll then go into the likes of maybe Scorch or Weezing or something, and then he'll have to switch out his Darkrai because it'll live that hit, and he'll go back out into likes of Muck or Heatran or something, and then this Future Sight attack will come in, and then I'll do damage to that. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. It's kind of worked so far for me. It's got like a couple of kills, but it might get a tad bit predictable if I keep using it again and again and again and again and again. So I have to try and like use it from time and again less often, but if it works, it works. So hopefully Hatterene can get some Future Sights off and put in the work. Next up, I do believe have our... It was our MVP for this season, but now it's gone... It still is our MVP for this season. Looking at my stats for this season. I think it's on, what, +3? 9 kills in 8 games. That's probably a spoiler. But that's fine. But we've got Malfoy, our Drakefish, which is holding our Choice Scarf with Strong Jaw. With Fisher's Rent, Earthquake, Crunch, and Ice Fang. We've got 68 HP, 252 attack, 188 speed, Adamant Nature. I think this is to outspeed, I do believe, Darkrai, I do believe. We outspeed Darkrai with this set. We obviously not going to outspeed a Scarfed Staraptor or a Scarfed Garchomp, or Scarfed Gallade at that matter. But if he's got a Scarfed, we can probably play around that with the rest of our Mons. So if we can get rid of that Scarf, and we know Drakefish will be the fastest Mon on our team, we can put in work with Fisher's Rend, because obviously get double boosted. That thing does another truckload of damage. We've got Earthquake for the likes of the Muck. We've got Crunch as well for likes of both his Ghosties and Gallade and Gothorita. If he brings Gothorita, I don't see him bring Gothorita, but if he does, he does. And we've got Ice Fang for the likes of Staraptor and Garchomp and so forth and so forth. So hopefully Malfoy can help us pick up one of these today. And I'm looking forward to using Malfoy. Hopefully it can put in some work for us this week. Next up, we've got my favourite boy on the team. We've got Angry Alvin, our Morpeko. From the Expert with Hunger Switch, rocking All Wheel, Parting Shot, Ice Fang, and Stomping Tantrum. With 172 speed, Jolly Nature, with 252 attack and 84 in HP. I think this is we sped crept this for, I do believe, Garchomp. Because I do believe, let me just double check. I think Garchomp is roughly... I know it's illegal, but that's fine. I want to know what speed you are. 102. I think we outspeed I want to say we outspeed an Adamant Garchomp with this set. I think it's for Adamant Garchomp. I could be wrong, though. It might be for Heatran or something. I don't know. It might be for Gallade, actually. No, I know what it is. It's to outspeed Garchomp at +1 with our, if we get an Aura Wheel off. I do believe a Jolly Garchomp with an Aura Wheel up. That's what it was for. So if we get a +1, we outspeed Garchomp at, if we get an Aura Wheel off, then we can Ice Fang and kill it, which is fantastic. Aura Wheel, obviously, it's going to be clutch because it's an electric type move, which could damage the Staraptor and the Jellicent. We've got Darks as well for the Jellicent, the Delmise, the Gothorita, the Gallade, and so on and so forth. We've got Stomping Tantrum as well for the Heatran, which is probably more likely going to be a switch into this thing. If not, the Garchomp, we've got Ice Fang for. So hopefully we can put in motion with Angry Alvin, get some kills with him, because he's my boy. He's probably my favourite electric type to use at the moment. Barring Rotom, of course. It's getting there. It's getting close to being at Rotom, but Rotom will not have such place in my heart. But that is Angry Alvin's job for this week. Next up, we have our boy Franz, our Scentiscorch, who has done remarkably well for us so far this season. We've only brought it against Jared so far, against that Mega Lucario, but hopefully we can do the same thing, ideally in my head, for the Gallade. So I'm looking forward to potentially having that work for us. We're running heavy duty boots because he's got likes of Heatran that can set up rocks, Garchomp that can set up rocks, and he is a player who tends to bring rocks in most games, so that's going to be an issue for us. So we've got Magic Bounce on Virginia, obviously, and we've got heavy duty boots, so we can send in Scorch on rocks and be absolutely fine with it. We've got max 248 HP, 252 attack, Adamant Nature, Fire Lash, Knockoff, Lunge, and Coil. The idea is to try and get some coils up on this thing, pretty much because most of his threats are physical attackers, barring the likes of Darkrai, Jellicent, Heatran. Barring those, most of his threats are physical, and obviously Garchomp with a Stone Edge will blow us back, even with a couple of coils up. But maybe, I think after one coil, we could live a Brave. I don't think we'll live a Brave Bird from Staraptor, even at +1. So it's probably a bad idea to bring this thing, but it's mainly for Gallade, because I don't think Gallade gets a rock type move. If it does, I've glossed over that, and his fans is not going to do as much work as I hope it would have done. But we've got Fire Lash as well, for the likes of, obviously I think it gets a defense drop, is that correct? Yeah, 100% chance of a defense drop, so even if we get a Fire Lash on anything, barring obviously the Heatran with Flash Fire. That should be good for us to like go into like sort of Angry Alvin or Malfoy to come in and just go blah 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 blah, because it's -1, do the damage. Knock off the likes of obviously knock off some Eviolites, knock off some items, knock off some Choice Scarfs hopefully, and we've got Lunge as well, which reduces attack as well. So if we want, we can Lunge, we can Fire Lash, we can drop stats for days, and obviously Coil, just get some setup if we really want to. Now next up we have our boy DNA, our Mew. Now making his debut right away because we needed a defogger, and Mew is now our best defogger. So we're probably going to bring it up. For the beginning of the video, I was talking about it can be run any way you want. But having our only defogger be, I think, Weezing is our best defogger, but except for Mew. So if we're expecting rocks, we need to bring Mew defog set. So run a max HP, max defense, bulky Mew, because most of his threats, which I can't really deal with at the moment, are physical. Because Healisk can't really touch Virgin Hat. Darkrai, obviously we've got options for that. We've got options for Jellicent. We've got options for Alchemy and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully Mew, being a defensive monster, can help us with that. We've got Defog, we've got Softboard, we've got Knockoff, we've got Seismic Toss. So we can knock off on his Ghosties, we can Seismic Toss on all his other Mons. We can Softboard up, just keep DNA healthy, get rid of rocks, healthy, stall out, kind of thing. You know what Mew does. So hopefully this Mew set will be very clutch for us. Put in good work, straight staple on the team, and put in some work for us today. And last but not least, we've got Miss Chernobyl, our Galarian Weezing, with Assault Vest, with bulky special sweeper set, with Strange Stream, Sludge Wave, Flamethrower, and Shadow Ball. Bog standard, really, just for, I need another special attacker, because at the moment we've only got Virgin Hat, because DNA is like a bulky knockoff set, so we need another special attacker. Miss Chernobyl had the best matchup from all my special attackers, with the likes of Darkrai. We can Strange Stream it, we can Sludge Wave the likes of the Delmise, we can Flamethrower the likes of the, why have we got Flamethrower? Healisk, I guess. That's about it, because it doesn't really get that many coverages. We've got Shadow Ball as well. So with this, we could have run Thunderbolt actually, for Staraptor, for Jellicent, for Arctovish, and whatnot. Maybe we did. Because why would we run Flamethrower when we got Thunderbolt right there? Thunderbolt's a better option. Because he's got nothing on his team like weak to fire apart from Delmise, which you can hit with a Shadow Ball anyway, or a Sludge Wave. Yeah, I don't understand that. Maybe we did bring Thunderbolt, maybe we didn't. If we did, we did. If we didn't, we didn't. That's fine by me. But hopefully, that is our team for the game versus Dean. So what we do now is we click this button, remove the poster, go to the page. And as you can see, Dean has brought Darkrai, Delmise, Arctovish, Staraptor, Heatran, Garchomp. So, was expecting most of those Mons. Was really surprised that Gallade wasn't there, which is very good for us, because we stacked. We got double Psychic, we got a Bug type just for Gallade, and a freaking Fairy type. But no, he didn't bring any of them. So, I think at this stage I lead with Mew at this stage. No, I lead with Dracovish, because I was expecting him to lead with either Heatran or... I'm trying to remember this in my head backwards, because this was done March 23rd. It's now April the 11th. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. I'm trying to catch up. I really am. But Dracovish, I led with Dracovish because I thought he'd lead with Heatran or Garchomp to try and get rocks up. And he didn't. He lead with Staraptor. He's probably going to Choice Band U-turn out or Choice Scarf U-turn out at this stage with this thing. So I think I'm just going for because if he's Choice Scarfed, he'll outspeed us and Fissure Range will do a lot of damage. Or he's Choice Banded, we outspeed it and we kill this thing. So either scenario, we should be good. But he goes straight into Arctovish, doesn't U-turn out, goes to Fissure Rend, and this thing gets Water Absorb, as does my Arcto. So Dracovish, Arctovish, both are vicious, do have Water Absorb. Mine's Strong Jaw. He's obviously brought this just for Dracovish to absorb all the Fissure Rends, so I can't really press that button anymore until this stupid fish is dead. So he now realises I'm Choice Scarf as I switch out into my Mew, predict him to go for like... I don't know what he's going to go for, but he goes for Super Fang, which Dean tends to bring on his Arctovish quite a lot, from what I've seen from his game so far this season. So I go into Mew because I'm thinking, oh, it's a bulky set, might as well go for that. So you go for Staraptor, knocks off his Choice Band, I'm thinking, okay, that is really clutch for us now, because like the Senti Scorch will probably can potentially live a Brave Bird now, and most of our Mons will live a hit from this thing now, because it's probably Choice Band Reckless, Double Edge, Brave Bird, all that kind of stuff, which is really scary. But now it's not, obviously it's not Scarfed anymore. We know it's not a Scarf set. It was a Choice Band set, so it's not going to have that much. It might be Adamant over Jolly. It's probably Jolly over Adamant because of the Choice Band, so it can do enough damage and still outspeed us. So that's what my logic was thinking on that turn. So he U-turns out. Now, knowing he's not got a Choice Band now, it's not going to do that much damage. He goes out into Darkrai, predicting me to go for a Psychic type move or something. But I don't. I go for a Softball to get me healed back up to full health as I go out into my Weezing. As he sets up a sub with his Darkrai, and I'm thinking at this stage, right, this could be a little bit tricky, because Darkrai behind a sub is quite scary. Can't really touch it behind a sub. So I think I go for a Strange Stream on this turn, as he sets up a nasty plot. I go for a Strange Stream, break the sub, as he goes for a Psychic. And this stage I'm thinking, right, because I completely forgot Darkrai got Psychic. I thought it only got Dark, Pulse, Sludge Bomb. Those were the two I was mainly thinking of, Dark Pulse and Sludge Bomb, because I've seen Darkrai use those before. But Psychic, I should have remembered Psychic, because on the set on Showdown, it doesn't have Psychic on it. And I just thought, if it did have Psychic, most sets would run Psychic in my head. But obviously he's got Nasty Plot, Sub, Psychic, and he's obviously got Dark Pulse at this point, because he would not bring Not Stab on his Darkrai. So those were his four moves. So unfortunately, even with an Assault Vest, Weezing couldn't live the hit. But I do believe if he wasn't set up, Weezing would have lived the hit and we would have killed with a Strange Stream. But he doesn't. So he dies as I go into my Hatterene. So he goes for the Dark Pulse, knocks out my Hatterene. And I'm thinking, right. In my head, I was thinking, right, what I'm going to do is hopefully live a hit from this Darkrai with my Dark Pulse at +2. Because I'm max HP. I'm a very bulky gal. Hopefully I can live the hit. Wasn't calcing, I don't believe. I might have done. I don't tend to calc, because when I calc, I overthink all the time and it goes badly for me. So I try to avoid it, but I probably should go back to calcing to, like, you know, get some wins on my belt, keep learning as I go. So I do that and I'm thinking, right, okay, so died to that. The plan was to go out, set up a Trick Room, spam Dazzling Gleam, hopefully kill some Mons, like that way. But obviously I don't live the hit. I die. I'm thinking, oh great. So I'll go into my Senti Scorch and I'll Dynamax it. So I can live any hit from this thing. Which is 47%. So I go for Max Flutterby, kills his Darkrai. And I'm thinking at this stage, if that thing flinched me, I would have been so annoyed. Because I would have wasted a Dynamax on Senti Scorch and just lost the game. So I Dynamax with Senti Scorch just so I could know I could live the hit, knock this thing out, threat avoided. Hopefully we can win with Dracovish, Morpeko, and Mew, and Senti Scorch obviously for the rest of the game. So I do believe he now goes out into his Heatran at this stage, which goes for the Rock Slide. Does about 48%. And I go for Max Darkness just to, you know, get some chip on this thing. Reveals it's quite a bulky set for Max Darkness to do so little on the Heatran. So very unfortunate. But it does drop his special defense as he goes for Flash Can to finish Franz off. So I go into Morpeko, knowing it's now special defense, as I go for an Ice Fang. Predicting him to completely go out into Garchomp. Predicting Aura Wheel. But in my head I thought that's the obvious play. He's going to go into Garchomp because this thing can't really touch it. Electric type move. Probably going to go for a Aura Wheel to try and outspeed his entire team and then win the game like that way. So I thought, oh, he's going to go into Garchomp because that seems the most logical thing to do. But no, he stays in. And I'm thinking, well, Ice Fang did nothing. I'm now going to take a Lava Plume for no reason. Live on 11%. Turn to my Dark type move. Go for Stomping Tantrum, which I should have done in the first place. But again, overthinking screws me over again. So I go for the Stomping Tantrum, knock down the Heatran. Go back to my Hunger Switch. And now Garchomp comes in and outspeeds me. And if I had gone for the Aura Wheel, then clicked Stomping Tantrum, I would have outsped the Garchomp, clicked Ice Fang, probably knocked it out, would have been good. And then I could have parting shotted out into Mew or something against the Raptor or something. Who knows? Could have done something in this game, but no. Once again, I go out into Mew thinking, oh, okay, probably gonna go for Earthquake. Does pretty much no damage. Garchomp then begins to sell with Swords Dance. I go for Knockoff. Reveals the Rough Skin. Doesn't reveal an item. And I'm thinking, what item does this thing have? Because I went for Knockoff, nothing got knocked off. So what item does Garchomp have? It must have a Z Crystal on it. So it must be Z Garchomp. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be fun. So he goes into Dracovish as I go for a Crunch. Knowing I'm choice locked. I can't really go for a water type move because he's got a Dracovish there. Probably going to switch in. I'd Earthquake. If he went to Staraptor, that would have been bad news. What's my other move on this thing? I can't remember now. I literally did. And I had Ice Fang. And if he went into Dracovish again, probably more likely. I thought Dracovish was coming in again, picking a Fisher's Rend. So I went for Crunch. Didn't happen. And he just Earthquakes me and kills me. So I go into Morpeko, which outspeeds me, goes for an Earthquake, and I lose 4-0. And that could have been, I think, if I was +1, if I get an Ore Wheel, if I didn't overthink on that Heatran play, I don't think I would have, had a better chance of winning the game, because I would have outsped the Garchomp, I would have killed with an Ice Fang, more than likely, hopefully. I know it's quite a bulky set, but it's quite effective. So it would have been nice chip enough so, like the Mew could have knocked it out, or whatever, if worse comes to worse. And then Dracovish could have potentially swept with Crunch, hopefully, by the end of the game. So that would have been nice, especially with Strong Jaw boosted. So that was GG to Dean. I think he's still undefeated at this stage, which is absolutely insane. We've got 2 wins under our belt. We've got 3 weeks left. I think we need to win all 3, and everyone else in my group and group 4 to lose most of them to get into playoffs. So this season's been fun. I'm probably going to just do fun sets for the rest of the season because it's going to be a very slim chance of me actually making playoffs. But hope you guys are enjoying the UCC series. If you do, make sure you smash the like button down below. It'd be much, much appreciated. Your support on this series has been absolutely fantastic. As always, leave any comments in the comment section down below. I tend to reply to you as soon as possible and whatnot. And also, at least 75-80% of you watching aren't subscribed. Please subscribe, because we've been growing recently. We're nearly up to 150 subscribers. So the aim is to get to at least 200 by the end of the year. We're all on lockdown. What else you got to do? Watch some Devious Ditto content. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.